It was late on a Thursday evening, and Jake, he was feeling kind of mean, cause he just run out of his favorite drug, you know, the one called amphetamine. So we started up to Petula, and it said, say, baby, let's split. There's a little gas station on down the road that might be fun to hit. So they drove up to the station, and they both jumped off of Jake's ride. They were up to derision at Jake's decision as they both saw to the inside. The attendant, he was an old man, and you know he didn't think it very funny. When Petula pulled out that great big gun, said, honey, give me all your money. Well, the old man opened up the cash drawer, and Jake grabbed the money and ran. With Petula out the door to the big chop parlor that was parked on the center kickstand. Then they headed out for the 4-lane, and they thought it was lots of fun. With Jake on his hog, with Petula the dog, with the automatic 45 gun. Jake, he thought it was the best there was, as down the interstate he saw, till the day he tangled with the county sheriff, who they all called 104. Very humorous, and you know he didn't like to get sassed, cause just that morning he had a cup of coffee with a cop named Pendergrast. But the old man had a lot of sense, and he knew just exactly what to do. He dropped a dime in the phone till he got the dial tone, and he talked to operator 42. Operator 42, she was the best, and she gave out the description of Jake the maggot with the gang colors jacket and Petula with the 45 gun. Now it just so happens that Jake, he was headed for 522. Well,
you can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com. Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark, wants to give a big shout out to all the truckers that listen to our show. Night Dreams Talk Radio Network brings you the World Paranormal News with James Creechbaum. Now, the latest news.
I'm James Creechbaum with the Paranormal and World Changes News. Well, green snow falls on a meteor city of Chelyabinsk. That's the city that in 2013 also had a meteor, pretty good sized one, hit and caused a lot of damage. Now, precipitation with a pronounced green tint fell on a section of the Ural Road near the entrance of Chelyabinsk, and that's in Russia. Also, on Monday, the department specialists left the site and came to the conclusion that the snow turned green due to dust from a nearby granite quarry. In Brazil, a chicken lays an egg with numbers and symbols depicted on the shell. Now, the chicken laid the egg in late December with numbers and symbols depicted on the shell. The animal's owner speaks of an egg that has numbers and letters as if it were registered by the chicken. Now, many tried to decipher the numbers and symbols and believe it points to aliens and the connection of extraterrestrial beings that frequently visit that region. A possessed man drives a SUV through a church. A 30-year-old man in Spain recently rammed his way into a church in Toledo after believing that he was possessed. Incredibly, nobody was seriously injured, and the police arrived soon afterwards to, well, take him away. Researchers finally sequenced giant squid's entire genome. Because the massive creature has never been captured alive, biologists have largely been left in the dark as to how the giant squid grows and behaves. After sequencing the genes, the University of Copenhagen and Marine Biological Laboratory researchers found several oddities in the giant squid's DNA. Genes that are rarely found in other invertebrates, for instance, giving scientists new tools with which to understand the bizarre animals. Well, a startup unveils working prototype of an AR contact lens. Now, the startup called, I won't say who they are, but they have a working prototype today of what it claims to be the world's first true smart contact lenses. Now, the smart lenses is essentially a miniaturized display that you can wear in your eye. The company says it could provide directions, sports scores, or even let them see in the dark. Also, China finally boots up colossal alien hunting radar telescope. On Saturday, China officially debuted the gigantic alien hunting radar telescope that it's been testing and debugging ever since construction was completed in 2016. The 500-meter aperture spherical radio telescope, or FAST for short, sets a new world record for the largest single-dish radio telescope with a diameter of half a kilometer. Next news break, top of the hour.
Coming to you from some far point station, like a cosmic tumbleweed, both north and south of the Pleiades. Here's your host, Gary Anderson.
And that is me. Boy, I tell you what, it is still chilly today down at the compound, down at the harbor. I hope everybody's having a great week this week. And, well, I wish it actually all the time. Well, let's get our guest on the line. James, what do you think?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Now we just got to figure out how to pronounce his name.
Mr. Nost.
Mr. Nost. We can try that.
Yeah.
Well, how's everything going, Mr. Nost? And how do you pronounce your first name? We've been debating that, me and my co-host and my producer to here today.
Okay, well, it's in this country, it is Aage.
Aage. Okay, well, do you want... Well, Aage, how's your day going?
Well, it's wonderful, and it's not over yet, so it's even going to get better.
Oh, yeah. What part of the country are you in?
I'm in Tucson, Arizona.
Oh, what's the weather like there?
Weather? We don't have weather. It's always nice here. Sunshine and probably 70 degrees every day.
Oh, wow. Have you been getting any drones in that area of your state at all?
No, I'm not outside much either, but I haven't heard of anybody that has it, so probably it's not. I think more like Wyoming and Nebraska and up in the central part is where they're getting them.
What do you think they are and why, out of curiosity?
I don't know. I think it's probably some type of governmental military experiment, just more or less to just stir people up, maybe. I really have no idea.
Well, maybe it could be disinformation. To get people, all of a sudden they start seeing things, and then, I don't know. I find every time there's a major release about anything with ufology, then all of a sudden you get all the group, it doesn't take long and a whole bunch of disinformation starts coming out.
Yeah, I know. Move along. Nothing to see here.
Yeah. Well, hey, why don't you tell people about your book and what you got my curiosity. We were talking before, you came on about the moon. I'm just wondering what's going on with the moon.
What's going on with the moon? Well, I tell you that there is more explanation to the fact that it isn't there than the explanation explaining why it is there.
Okay.
Did you see the video documentary I sent you about the pictures on the moon?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? And I've done a lot of research on that, and also poked around in the NASA picture archives. Some 25 years ago, I first got the first picture on that video documentary about the moon pictures. There is a 2-mile-long cigar-shaped ship floating across the surface of the moon, throwing a shadow on the ground. And it's totally lit up. There is no question of what that is. That cannot be shadows or swamp gas or anything like that. That's just a ship, cigar ship. And then again, as you see on many of the other pictures, I got pyramids up there. There's a NASA print. And they're huge water tanks. In fact, on one place, there's a letter F engraved into the surface, a very large one, 200 feet across, that S, as far as what we're hearing. And we got buildings and structures up there, and also an old, very old, crashed cigar-shaped ship that is 3,700 feet long.
Oh, my God, that is huge.
Yeah. And on that video also, we got a man walking on the moon, and there is a 100-kilometer long road that is clearly carved out of the surface, and hundreds of small buildings, green vegetation. I got in, I was taken by on plate 42 on Apollo 8. Green vegetation on the moon? That doesn't make sense when there is no water and no air up there. Maybe we've been lied to, do you think?
I don't know. I was mentioning, Buzz here back about 6-7 months ago. President Trump had them all up, some of the, astronauts, and Buzz was one of them. And some reporter asked Trump, do you believe in UFOs and aliens? And he says no. And, Buzz, if you've seen the video, he rolls his eyes and he's starting to mouth something, but he's not saying it. You could tell he was clearly upset with what Trump said. Because what Buzz said when he got on the moon.
Yeah.
He clearly said, look on the other side of the crater, the craft, they're bigger than anything we have. Dead giveaway, something is going on.
Oh, yeah, and of course the president has been briefed on those. That is one of the, it's not the first thing necessarily, but one of the things they are briefed on. Very little, though, probably, compared to the real truth, but they are briefed on it.
I think some presidents, have been briefed more than others in the past. It depends on the president. I really think, like Reagan, for example, probably, and along with Nixon, knew great amount of what is going on, with UFOs, aliens, and what's going on the moon.
Absolutely, and there is pyramids on the moon, and there are NASA prints, and one of those 3 pictures that I have, different pictures from NASA that has pyramids on it. One of them I got myself, so I know it is real from NASA. And there are smudged building up. NASA says that the moon is just a dead rock sitting in the sky. Well, okay, if it's a dead rock, why do they have hundreds of pictures that I ran across when 20-some years ago when I did a lot of research on it? I ran across pictures that was marked top secret. It's just a dead rock in the sky. Why?
That don't make sense.
Smudged. Yeah, absolutely. And the smudged out pictures, there is 2 pictures on this video documentary I sent you, which show there are smudged out a portion of the picture. And then the next picture after it, then the smudging was cleaned up. And you could see the shadow of buildings behind it.
Now, the question is that our buildings from us on the backside of the moon or on the moon, or is this from E.t. contact that, maybe have bases on the moon?
Well, I think it's not ours, because especially those water tanks or fuel tanks or whatever they are, that one of the pictures on the video documentary, those tanks, those huge tanks. In fact, I got that picture from NASA and I had it blown up. So it is there, and those tanks are several thousand feet tall. Those perfectly round buildings, straight out of the ground with a slightly curved top to it. So we didn't do that.
No, maybe this is one of the reasons why we haven't gone back to the moon.
Well, it kind of sounds like we were warned off, according to one astronaut who said we were warned off on coming back.
I got a funny feeling that it's true, because, we are talking about going to Mars so much. both private organizations, NASA, all